In this lecture, I'll show you how to filter DataFrame rows based on a specific condition. We can do this via the filter or where methods. They're both interchangeable. Filter is just an alias for where. I'm in the Spark docs, and the methods are part of the DataFrame class. So here is the where method. As you can see, where is just an alias for filter. So let's click on filter. So here's the method. You apply it on a DataFrame object, and then inside of the parenthesis, you specify a condition. So you can see some examples here. There are two ways to filter. One is using column instances, where you can reference the column using bracket notation, DataFrame attribute access like this example here, or creating a column object with the call function. Another way is using SQL style syntax, where you specify a condition using SQL syntax inside of double quotes. I'll demonstrate both of these examples. So let's head over to Databricks. So in this cell on the screen, I've created a DataFrame object. It consists of country information. So here's the data, you can see the schema here, and here is the DataFrame displayed. So you've got the country name, the continent, the population, and the area. So let's filter this DataFrame so that only the records where the continent is equal to Asia are displayed. So I can type the following. I can reference the DataFrame and then do either the where or the filter method, they're both the same, and then specify the condition. So in this example, I'll do column-based filtering using DataFrame attribute access. So I can do df.continent equals Asia dot display. So this is the column. And then I'm saying where this column value equals, so we use the equality operator in Python with a double equal sign. And then this is the value that's being compared against, which is the string literal. So that's Asia. So when the value in this column is equal to Asia, then display that record. So let's run this. And we can see we get 47 rows. So in this example, I've used DataFrame attribute access, but we can also use bracket notation like so. And this works the same. So 47 rows again. Or we can create a column object by importing the call method. So from PySpark.sql.functions, import call. And then I can use call here and then create a column object like this. And this should also work the same. Again, we get 47 rows. So now let me show you alternative SQL style syntax for this condition. So I will comment this out. And then I can do df.filter and then inside of double quotes specify the condition. And the condition is where the continent is equal to Asia. Like so. And then dot display. So this time, since the expression is enclosed in double quotes, I have specified Asia in single quotes. If I specified it in double quotes, we'd get an issue because the interpreter would not know where the condition ends. So if I specified the condition in single quotes, for example, then I would have to specify Asia in double quotes. And we use the single equal sign as the equality operator. The reason we can do this in the SQL style syntax and not Python syntax is because in Python, the single equal sign means variable assignment. So it's reserved for variable assignment. So this should work the same. And indeed it does. We return 47 rows. We can also provide multiple conditions. So let me give an example where the record is displayed if any condition out of a number of conditions are true. This can be done with the OR operator. So for example, I want to return only rows where the continent is Asia or Europe. So let me start by using column-based filtering. So I can do df.where and then specify the first condition. Since we're doing multiple conditions, each condition needs to be enclosed in its own parenthesis. So I'll do df.continent equals Asia, and then I need to specify the OR operator, which using Python syntax is this pipe symbol. Or as a keyword is reserved in Python for something else. So that's why we need to use this pipe operator. And then the next condition, and that's where the continent is equal to Europe. And then you can do a dot display. So now this should work. And I've made a mistake where I've done the single equal sign instead of the double equal sign. So let me just run that again. And that works. So we return 92 rows. Using an SQL expression as a condition would result in the following syntax. So you would do df.where, and then inside of double quotes, you would do the condition. So it's where the continent is equal to Asia. So notice the single equal sign. And then you need to specify the OR keyword. And you could do that using OR. You don't need a pipe operator in SQL. And then the second condition, which is where the continent equals Europe. If you like, you can enclose each condition inside of parentheses, but that's not mandatory. So let's do dot display. And let's run this. So I've got a typo here, so continent. And then let's run this. And that works the same. So we return 92 rows. So now let me demonstrate how to filter records where all of the conditions specified must be true. And this can be done with the AND operator. So let's say I want to return records where the continent is Asia and the country, so the country name, is India. So then I can type the following. Let me just collapse this. So let me show you the first example using column-based filtering. So I can do df.where, and then the first condition, which is df.continent equals Asia. So then close that in its own parenthesis. And then for the AND operator, we use the ampersand. We cannot type AND. We need to use the ampersand. And then inside of parenthesis is the next condition. It's when df.country name equals India. And again, it's a double equal sign. And then dot display. So this should work. As you can see, we return one record, which is expected. So using SQL style syntax for the condition, it will be df.where. Inside of double quotes, continent equals Asia. And country name equals India. Dot display. So in this example, we have used the AND keyword rather than the ampersand. So let's run this. And that works just the same. Okay, so now let me give you another example. This time I'll create an expression and evaluate the expression. So I want to filter the rows where the population density, so that will be the population divided by the area in kilometers squared, is greater than 1,000. So that will be the population density in kilometers squared. So first I need to create the expression. So what I can do is using column-based filtering is df.filter. And then I will do the expression within the condition. So that will be df.population divided by df.area in kilometers squared. And I want that to be greater than 1,000. And then do dot display. So this should work. And indeed it does. Using SQL, the equivalent syntax would be as follows. df.filter, and then I can specify inside parenthesis the expression, which is population divided by area in kilometers underscore or kilometers squared greater than 1,000. Dot display. And this works just the same. So this is just an example to show you that you can use expressions in your conditions as well. Okay, great. So that was how to filter your data frames in PySpark using column instances and SQL expressions.